if I have it. Let's see if I can fucking do something here. Mm-mm. I think I'm gonna choose. Should I go with that or should I go with? Let's go with that. Rockets, red glare, bombs bursting in air. All messages. About to get going. Welcome everybody to the USA's State of the USA Union. I'd like to start off with doing the 21st bill. Let's all do the 21st bill together. If you want an age limit on something, you are going to have to sign a bill into the USA Bill of Rights, 2/3 congressional branch approval, and executive branch approval within 10 days, excluding the Sundays, on being presented. And there's some bills in there to provide yourselves with evidence as far as age limits. God damn, dude. Shout out to Beams. Let's go, you guys. The 10th dimension. The 10th dimension did not will for it to happen, then it would not have occurred. Shout out to Rockefeller. You're a real one, dude. Getting a little bit of deja vu. Before I started this live at around 10 o'clock, dude, I got that fucking deja vu feeling. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna embrace that feeling. It's a sign from Beams that we're repeating history, I guess. So let me get into this. Where do I begin, actually? I would like to say, I guess, that I listened through Trump's State of the Union address, and various things were said that were things that I agree with and approve of. There was only a brief moment where I had a little bit of disrupt mentally on my freedom frequency, you know what I'm saying? So as far as war goes, the USA being in a state of war, there was a little bit of touch on that in Trump's State of the Union address. So he talked about there will be war against these fucking Mexican cartel fucking terrorists. This terrorist fucking organization out in fucking Nazi Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And at the moment, the Nazi Mexican leadership out there recently signed something into law protecting these terrorist organizations. Cartel is actually means organization. It's not a this or that word. That's just the name for businesses, and it's been used in the past. It's not really used now, but it means organized, I guess, business dealings. So I don't even really like using the word because it makes it sound like they're something that is functioning, but in reality, What they are is a Neanderthal, run the fucking planet in the ground fucking militia. Alright? They are Nazi. I fucking 100% can tell everybody they are Nazi. And it's all a big fucking hustle, fake fucking drama, fake fucking beef between the Nazi Mexican government, the fucking Nazi Mexican cartels, whatever you want to call them, terrorists. I just call the whole fucking location exactly what it is, Nazi Mexican. There was some fucking announcement earlier about there has not been border patrol checks on the Mexican side of the border, the Nazi Mexican side of the border, has not had border patrol checks for 36 years now. Yet in the USA, we're enduring 109,500 plus deaths in 2022 alone from chemical weapon that was imported here from Nazi Mexican and Nazi Canada. All right, and the way that they're producing it is chemicals being distributed, being sent over from China. All right, they're allowed to. It's supposed to be used in other ways. It's these locations' choice to use it in the way that they're using it in. All right, so they're talking about, well, only 1%. Okay, let's. I'm down to the atom. I'm down to the atom. I'm down to the photon, and then I even shout out the 10th dimension. So I'm down to, the Higgs boson and beyond. I don't give a fuck about percentages. Similar to the recent statistic that I read off about there's 600,000 missing USA citizens every single planetary orbit around the sun. And then they're talking about, well, we got 1% of them. Only 1% of them is missing for longer than 30 fucking planetary rotations. When you're being tortured, when you're being raped, when you're being fucking interrogated, forced to endure labor, forced to endure sex labor, a minute can feel far beyond what a fucking minute feels like normally when you're having fun. Alright? A second can feel far longer. An hour can feel far longer. So you're talking about these beings are permanently missing. So 600,000 beings are missing every fucking planetary orbit around the sun. And then they're talking about 1% is, only 1% is permanently fucking missing longer than 30 fucking days. 30 fucking days and nights, you know what I'm saying? Day, night, morning, however the fuck you want to speak. That means 6,000 USA citizen civilians are going out missing, potentially permanently being tortured online. The fucking videos are being posted online. They're getting paid to torture USA citizen civilians, and it's at a rate of fucking 1% and potentially more. I mean, they're all proud about, well, some of them get found within 24 hours. That's 24 hours of enduring some sort of torture, potentially. Some sort of rape fucking scene. Some sort of fucking, you know what I'm saying? It does not take 24 hours to upload these things on various fucking websites, the dark web even. And these beings from all these locations everywhere have invaded here, and no one seems to have an issue with it across the planet when it happens here. But for some fucking reason they have an issue with it when it happens out in this location out here though. So why are you not having an issue with it when it's at a rate of the deaths in war that we're currently enduring? It's at that fucking rate for 1 fucking year. All right. The USA Union is currently in a state of war. We're in a state of Revolutionary War, Civil War, and World War. It's Revolutionary War II, Civil War II, World War III. All right. So I want everybody to know, just like Civil War I, the war was brought to the USA. The war was brought into our location. They tried to obtain beings from their businesses, beings that were fashion designers, working in their fucking business. They tried to thieve them from us, the Confederates. The war was brought to us, and that's exactly what happened here. And I'm just gonna break it down for pretty much. I'll break it down for our species, for the planet. The beings that we're currently enduring war with on a planetary level is known as the Nazi militia. You are all currently enduring what is known as the Third Reich. All right? Adolf Hitler said this will be lasting for a minimum of 1,000 years. But we're currently at just beyond half a century. And here I am exposing the Nazi hustle. All right, the Nazi hustle to enslave human mammal, to empower themselves through our energy, through our lives, our existence, our timelines, our fucking fourth dimension, third dimensional existence, our fifth dimensional consciousness, and sixth dimensional consciousness. They're using our existence to allow themselves to thrive temporarily. So, at the moment, I would say that these beings, whatever you want to call them, some of them, I'm not going to get into various planets at the moment. Some of them are obviously not from here, but even the ones that are from here, you're just going to have to consider them as an ideological invasion. And it can be an ideological invasion in various ways. What we're currently enduring ideologically and therefore physically is a Confederate, these Confederate ideologists are enacting Nazi law here in the USA. They have made it illegal to be USA citizen civilian. You are not allowed to assemble. You are not allowed to keep and show all weapons all the time. You're not allowed to do the 21st bill. If you want to do the 21st bill, this is your right to do it as a USA citizen civilian. They have made the Nazi militia, via Confederate ideology, have enacted their Nazi law and made it illegal for you to do literally the USA Book of Law. Okay? So, anyone that is dialing up 9/11, you are in fact an invasion being. You are an invasion being ideologically. All right? You are calling up someone else's militia. I would say you're calling up someone else's militia. Okay? What you are supposed to be doing is pursuing happiness and continuing your pursuit for happiness. You're supposed to be supporting beings that allow you to keep and show all weapons all the time. You're supposed to be doing the 21st bill, supporting the 21st bill. You're supposed to be assembling. You're supposed to be doing Article 4, Section 4, which is preventing invasion. And there's various other things in there that you should be doing that you are not doing. If you are not doing the USA Book of Law, then you are an invasion being ideologically. Okay? You can be physically from here, and also an invasion being. And my evidence is the Confederate invasion of the USA. You can be physically from the USA while also an ideological invasion being, and you are therefore not from here. Okay? You have to do the USA Book of Law in order to be from here. I would like to reference Ellis Island for all you guys that don't know out there. Ellis Island is a location where that's where beings were taught the USA Book of Law, so that when they came in here, they're not identified as an invasion being. There's no such thing as tourists. There's no such thing as visiting. Wherever you locate yourself, that is where you're from. So if you locate yourself in the USA, you are required to follow the USA Book of Law. This is where you're from at the moment. You feel free to call yourself whatever you want. You have to follow the USA Book of Law, otherwise you are not from here. Okay? And the only law in the USA is the USA Constitution, the USA Bill of Rights, and the USA Declaration of Independence. Anyone that says that these state boundary lines are allowed to have their own laws enacted within the USA is a Confederate ideologist. That is a Confederate ideology to have state boundary lines with their own law, especially when it goes against the Constitution, the USA Constitution, Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. All right. You are not, the only law in the USA is the USA Book of Law. It's really not hard to comprehend that sentence there, but for some reason these wannabe leaderships, these self-proclaimed leaders want to manipulate, long con various beings into believing that what they're doing is best for the human mammal species, and it's not. If you're not enacting freedom, you are enacting slavery. All right? If you're not living the freedom ideology, then you are living the slavery ideology. There's no other option there. That's just how the universe works. A plus B equals B plus A. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, this is how our universe works that we exist in currently. So, everything that you guys are doing regarding slavery, the universe is obviously going to respond in an equal and opposite way. So, a lot of you think, okay, well, if I enact slavery, I'm going to endure freedom. That's not how things work. When you enact slavery, you are therefore going to be enslaved. All right? And I do have the right to enslave various beings for committing treason, mutiny, and larceny. So the right to enslave beings was gifted to me by final USA President Abraham Lincoln. And you can read it for yourself. The 13th bill clearly reads the word except. You are required to follow the USA Book of Law. If you do not follow the USA Book of Law, you are committing a crime. So, slavery is not legal in the USA. You're not allowed to enslave anybody in the USA. Except what? Well, except if you commit a crime. And what is a crime? A crime is if you do not follow the USA Book of Law. It means exactly as it fucking reads. It does not say this is up for debate. It means exactly as it fucking reads. And it means exactly as it fucking reads in how they speak. How they spoke. How it was written when they spoke. Okay? So it's not today's vernacular. However you're saying man, read it as human. Human species. All of mankind is how they used to speak. You now say it as human. You're going to have to research various other words for yourself. That's just how things are. So keep and show all weapons all the time. I have the right to bear arms. That means show. All right. So, as far as the Confederate invasion goes, I want other countries and continents to know that I would say most of the time, you're dealing with and speaking with the Nazi US. That is who your target is. Whether it's Russia, China, North Korea, various other locations that appear to be upset with this location, you are at war with these 9/11 beings, okay? These are the beings that do not like you. We, the people of the USA, also do not like these beings. These beings are Confederate ideologists, and they're enacting Nazi law here in my fucking USA country boundary line. There's no such thing as state law in the USA. Everybody, I don't know what to tell you. I mean exactly as I say. I'm sharing everything I share is facts, and whether you want to take it as one thing or another, that's your own free will to do so, but I'm telling you, the USA has been invaded in every way imaginable. Physically, ideologically, we've been invaded. Fucking other planetary fucking beings are invading in our skies. So, I just want everyone, whoever is upset with the USA, be sure to be targeting the proper locations. These 9/11 beings, these fucking Bethlehem fucking beings. You know what I'm saying? These fucking Roman Catholic Empire beings, fucking whatever you want to call your fucking selves. Those are the beings that are also enacting Nazi law here in the USA, thieving us of our right to our fucking USA Book of Law to live religiously. So those are the beings that you're going to want to target. And I wanted to hit specifically, I know these various Nazis want to shout out their own fucking country boundary lines, has this and that element there. No one gives a fuck about. No one fucking ever knew the fucking name to, you know what I'm saying? Those fucking beings need to be aware of the fact that Russia, back in the 1990s, signed a treaty with President George H.W. Bush. And it says specifically in the treaty, the USA, the Nazi US, is not allowed to enrich plutonium any longer. They are not allowed to enrich plutonium. That's as far as I'm going to share with everybody. So that was signed by President George H.W. Bush in the 1990s. The plutonium storage, whatever the supply, whatever you want to call it, that has been developed by the Nazi US is currently expired. It's no longer usable. Okay? Plutonium is required for nuclear bombs. It's one of the elements that you enrich in order to create a nuclear bomb. Russia does not have to do that. Russia can continue to enrich plutonium at the moment. So Russia has nuclear bombs. Russia has atom bomb. Russia has hydrogen bomb. All right? So Russia has these various fucking bombs readily available. They're already set up, ready to hit their target locations. And they're saying that they have minerals, the same exact minerals available in their country boundary line, and not just the same exact minerals available, but they have even more of that mineral than the location you're currently negotiating with. So I'm not going to give away all their hustle, but you're going to have to choose wisely in this moment here, because there's a location that is currently capable of doing things regarding economic warfare and nuclear warfare that this location is not capable of doing. Obviously, we do not have the rare earth minerals here if you're going to siphon a 300 billion to one location. And then the other thing I wanted to say, everybody, for just $300 billion worth of rare earth minerals, the fucking stock market crashed. $3.4 trillion just in a few fucking hours. It's down $3.4 trillion. So for 300 billion, they exchanged 3.4 trillion. It's like, okay. Didn't I fucking tell you guys? And here comes this dude into the location, disrespects the amount of beings that we have as leaders in our country, as if it's somehow confusing, can't get the dates right. You know what I'm saying? Stiff arm, fucking, apparently no this is in that vernaculars, which I don't give a fuck about. This dude threatened the USA, made fun of the fucking fact that we don't support dictators or dictatorships. And this fucking dude came in looking like one. Alright, this fucking Nazi motherfucker. I also believe he's high on fucking cocaine. And when you're a leader, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, apparently, in exchange for 3.4 trillion, because that's what the stock market is currently dropped to, we get 300 billion of rare earth minerals from some location that is currently murdering Russia, human mammal beings. Alright, their population. And they're armed with said nuclear weapons. Hydrogen bombs, the Tsar bomb, atom bombs, and various other weapons. And they're all already in position, ready to be launched off. So I really don't know what to tell people other than the goal of the Russian military is to end the spread of Nazism. That lines up exactly with what I'm trying to do. End the spread of fucking Nazism. I want to eliminate it from the fucking planet is my step further. I don't want to just end the spread. I want to fucking eliminate it permanently from the fucking planet. So everybody's going to have to I would say realize that we are in a universe that allows death to occur. If beams did not will for the death to occur, then it would not have occurred. Alright, so, or whatever event that occurs, that's the will of beams. So you're gonna have to get used to that fact. We all are in existence of the 10th dimension, and shout out to the 10th dimension, by the way. United we stand, together we fall, and what I mean by that is we're just going to continue falling into the next universe, just like Deadpool. There is no eliminating the existence of our freedom frequency, our freedom unification, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, as a consciousness, collective consciousness, there's no way to stop the force of freedom from eliminating whatever the fuck it is that's in its way. And I don't give a fuck about what some German said, some Nazi German said about this force or that force being the, you can't go beyond this, you can't go beyond that. Obviously, we're seeing videos online. We've heard from Bob Lazar that you can go faster than this. You can do this and that. The Earth is spinning. The Earth is orbiting around the sun. The sun is orbiting around the Milky Way galaxy, and I'm sure the Milky Way galaxy has some sort of path that it's on also. So we're already moving at a very fast speed. And once you add in the fact that we have a consciousness that is having signals sent through the brain, you know what I'm saying? What is the speed of thinking? When you add all those things up, well, then what is the speed of thinking compared to the speed of light? Because they were saying that is the fastest. I'm saying that there's potentially something faster. And if you can think faster than the speed of light, similar to traveling faster than the speed of light, you would be able to look back on your on the path you just traveled and see your light path, your photons traveling towards you. So you would be able to see yourself traveling towards you. We're seeing that with other suns in our universe here. Various stars are already burned out, supernovaed out. Their light is just now reaching us. So we're seeing locations that are potentially not existing anymore. There's various locations that are like that. Some of the locations you're seeing are not suns. Most of them are not suns. Most of them are galaxies, which is what we're located in, the Milky Way galaxy. Now I want everyone to know that there's about, 40,777, I think, various existing species within the Milky Way galaxy alone. And then there are 4 species that exist that are a threat to the human mammal species. So no one gets into, and I'm not going to get into what they look like exactly, because there's various forms of all existence. Consciousness exists, and it does not require a sack of cells. It does not require skin cells and muscle cells or whatever in order to exist. That's one form of existence. But consciousness exists beyond the cells that we're currently viewing. So these various consciousness beings, and we're not, turns out, the only universe that exists. There's other universal beings, multi-dimensional beings, interdimensional beings, whatever you want to call them, that do exist and travel into and out of our universe, into and out of our existence. So just similar to the USA, I like to use this example. Similar to the USA, you do not have to be the oldest in order to be the oldest existence, the oldest country, in order to be the most powerful country. So the USA is very powerful, and on a country level, very young. You do not have to be the oldest in order to be the most powerful. So these other universal beings, these other planetary beings, other existences across the universe, just because we are a young species, just because we are a young planet, does not mean that we do not have power. We do have power as an existence, as a consciousness, as a fucking planet, and beyond. Okay? We're all a part of the 10th dimension, and that's the will of the 10th dimension. Alright? There's no stopping whatever it allows to occur. So, the fact that we get to exist is pretty dope. And I would say the fact that we get to be at this level of understanding and knowledge is pretty dope. The freedom frequency discovered by the founding fathers that found the frequency, found the ideology to live freedom. The most powerful force in the universe, freedom frequency, freedom ideology. We've been gifted that freedom. We've been gifted that ideology with the USA Book of Law. They conveniently and graciously gifted it to us all right? they knew about this ideology before it was written out on ink on paper for all of us to read. Ink on hemp, whatever it is. We get to read it, attempt to understand it at times, and then fully comprehend it, and therefore live it. So, discovering it, it's one thing to be able to comprehend it, it's another thing to be able to enact it, it's another thing to be the ones discovering it. Alright? So, that's something that the founding fathers were able to do, able to live and endure. And what we're living in is an experiment. It's called the USA experiment, freedom experiment. Let's see how long this can go on. How long can we live freedom as a species, as a country boundary line? How long will this last? It appears it lasted until final USA President Abraham Lincoln, who was assassinated by the Confederate militia. Okay, so he was the final death in Civil War II, and it was during his second term, and anyone after that, and you can look into all this for yourself. Anyone after 1865, 1865, is the beings that enacted these various Confederate laws. There were no such thing as gun law. There's only the USA Book of Law. There's no such thing as this and that, federal land, state land, this and that. There's only fucking, the USA Book of Law. People were obtaining land as they needed. Alright, you were traveling fucking west, navigating the fucking continent, and obtaining land as needed. That's how things were. It's not until beyond the Civil War, beyond 1865, that these fucking fake fucking Confederate fucking laws began to be enacted across the various states. So we are currently at war with the Confederates, and what does this have to do with the moment now? The Confederates, it turns out, are Mexican. The Confederate locations are fucking Mexican. So there was a Mexican war versus the USA. And the reason why the USA joined is apparently they were trying to cut off the USA from being able to reach the western part of the American continent. Or that's how the being saw it. You got Canada up here, you got Mexico here. They're warring with one another. This side has more of our beings. We're going to support this side. Is how it went down. And President Abraham Lincoln participated in this war before he was president. So the USA ended up winning the war against the Mexicans and signed a treaty known as the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. So that drew the country boundary lines at the Rio Grande, which is where we're currently located today. So the country boundary lines are being invaded by these fucking Nazi Mexicans. Alright? And the Confederate locations, the reason why they were warring with one another is because Mexico was allowing slavery. Mexico was allowing slavery, and they came up and said, you're no longer allowed to slave, And they didn't have all these communications back then, so I have no idea what went down. They say you're no longer allowed to enslave. Got into a war with one another, with themselves, and then the USA came down and finished off the war. Alright, later on, these same locations that got annexed into the USA began trying to enact their own state boundary line laws. No, it's not state boundary line, it's State of the Union. Alright, depending on what state the USA country it is in, will determine various laws. And you can look at within the first 10 bills, you can look at, it'll say, even when the USA Union is in a state of war, you're not allowed to locate yourself on my motherfucking property. That for some reason these dumb motherfuckers are still locating themselves on my fucking property, my private fucking property. Alright? Nor in a state of war. Nor in time of war. Alright? So, State of the Union. What is the USA Union currently in a state of? It's in a state of war. So, these fucking Mexicans have been slaving out the motherfucking USA country boundary lines for long enough, raping, murdering, overdosing, intentionally, and, I would say all fucking intentionally. Obtaining information, delivering it back, military members dressed in civilian garb. It's a fucking invasion and fucking on a terrorist fucking level for various beings. I always choose bravery. It's the land of the free and the home of the brave. And soon, I'm not going to announce when, but very soon, that location, all the way to the Panama Canal, is going to be known as the USA. Alright? So, I want everyone to know across the planet, because this does deal with Russia. Shout out to Russia, by the way. I'm going to make sure that you guys remain safe and functioning. I'm doing my best to make sure that the USA can thrive as a nation, only so that they can fucking focus on themselves, you know what I'm saying? So we have to endure this moment with the South and the North in order to get rid of these fucking Nazis. Apparently there's 90,000 IRS beings that have been fucking fired. And IRS means Nazi thieving earnings, motherfucking beings. Thieving us of our taxes. These fucking Nazis forcing us to fund war. Forcing us to fund slaveries, cage locations. Alright? There's no option. Otherwise, they will come out and slave you out. They will thieve you of your property. They will thieve you of your fucking family. They'll thieve you of your pets. They've thieved me of my right to do the USA Bill in various times. So, I'm doing my best to make sure that Russia remains safe, because I know that Russia is enduring the same moment with me against these fucking Nazi fucking beings. Here in the USA, I can assure everyone that they are Confederate ideologists, and they're using the Confederate ideology that state boundary lines can enact their own law. They're using that ideology to enact Nazi law and make it illegal to be a USA citizen civilian. So, we obviously need more space as a country. We need the ability to produce more food. We need the ability to obtain more energy. We need to eliminate the threat, and we need to be able to transport, which is why we need the Panama Canal. We need various other locations to mind their own fucking inquitude, which is why Nazi Canada needs to mind their own fucking inquitude. Nazi NATO, mind your own fucking inquitude. Nazi Israel, Nazi Germany, mind your own fucking inquitude. Nazi Australia, mind your own fucking inquitude. Nazi fucking South Korea, mind your own fucking inquitude. Nazi Japan, mind your own fucking inquitude. Alright? Go focus on your fucking selves, or I guarantee you, you're gonna be enduring something that you would have never expected to occur. Far beyond what you would have ever expected to occur. I know nuclear sounds scary and hydrogen sounds scary, but there's far bigger things out there that can be far more destructive to the planet and to your own country boundary line. And you should be far more afraid and scared of those things than you are of what these various country boundary lines are saying. So Make sure you look up into the sky at nighttime. Look up into it at the daytime even. You'll maybe see and say something, but I really recommend that you look up at nighttime and see what's going on, because you're seeing there's a lot of galaxies out there, and I told you how many are within our own. So if you are another planetary being, if you're a time traveling being from fucking the Bethlehem times, I know you guys are so passionate about this being. Well, you're living in my country, George Washington's country, President Abraham Lincoln's country. You're passionate about these beings, or this being, like you're some time traveler. Maybe you are a time traveler. And to your other Nazi beings that want to live in this perfect fucking universe, maybe you're an interdimensional being. Maybe you don't belong in this universe. Or maybe you belong on another planet. Maybe you were from another planet and you're just fucking lying to us. Alright? So I'm not sure what the fuck it is that you're fucking imagining to be this perfect fucking existence, perfect universe, but the one that we're currently enduring is one that allows freedom. And if you don't feel that freedom is beautiful, or feel that freedom should be allowed, then you don't belong in this universe. Alright? We're allowed to think, we're allowed to speak. Free thinkers across the planet are constantly speaking freely, and we're going to continue to do so. There's been some recent discoveries in the technology department or technology aspect of our species. China has I'm not going to say everything, that is far more powerful and fast than anything that apparently the USA has. So, as a species, there's been some very big discoveries made, and the various militias that I'm a part of are across the entire planet. They're not just USA. So it's very big news for me whenever these various locations do discover something major like that. And there's just been back-to-back fucking discoveries that keep fucking occurring that are just banger fucking discoveries, dude. So I'm really getting excited for our near future. I'm excited to get rid of these fucking invasion beings that are fucking posting up these torture fucking videos and getting paid to do it. I'm excited to get rid of these fucking thieving motherfuckers. Alright? I'm excited to get rid of these fucking slave cage locations in my fucking country boundary land that are all walking distance. Shout out to Alcatraz. I want everything to look like Alcatraz. We're all gonna be in museums soon. You can kick your fucking feet up, let motherfuckers walk through this motherfucker and see what you are doing to the human mammal species. If you don't like it, you can sit in your home and do the same thing. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And as far as World War II and the Nazism, remember, Red Bull gives you wings. Do you have wings or do you not have wings? I wanted to end with a little thing here. I'm not gonna go on for fucking ever, you know what I'm saying? But during Revolutionary War I, the War for Freedom, the age group in that war was what feels like everybody. 4-year-olds were participating in that war. Okay, 4-year-olds were participating in that war. And in World War II, the Nazis had 9-year-olds participating in the war. Today there was an announcement tonight that this very young being has been drafted into the Nazi militia. And they announced his name. His name is DJ. He's now a Nazi. This Nazi being has been drafted in, apparently willingly, I would say manipulated in, to allow someone into a militia. They go, okay, you're allowed to murder a being, but at the same time they have an issue with beings identifying themselves in specific ways, speaking freely, guys playing sports with girls. Is dancing a sport? By the way, I don't know. You don't want guys dancing with girls? That kind of sounds, Bethlehem to me. I gotta be, I gotta be speaking properly here. That kind of sounds Bethlehem to say guys don't belong in sports with girls, and then, well, dancing is a sport. Okay, and then they have this 9-year-old being DJ. Shout out, you know what I'm saying, to the Nazi militia. Shout out. This DJ being has joined the Nazi militia. Apparently he had cancer already. Beam Beam's already gifted him with cancer, and he survived the cancer. He's also autistic, and he's now a Nazi being, and Trump says he's gonna be a part of the Secret Service soon. So I want everyone to know out there, it's not just 9-year-olds that I'm talking to. I'm talking about to the 4-year-olds. Let's shout out founding fathers. Shout out the founding fathers, right? Let's speak from here. Shout out to the founding fathers, bro. Shout out to women. Shout out to men. Shout out to human. Every being has someone that they love. I don't care who you are. Maybe you love yourself. I can almost guarantee you, and I've met a lot of people, I've met a lot of humans. Every being that I have met has somebody that they love, whether they exist currently or do not exist. They do have somebody that they love. So I currently have a lot of beings that I love. 3 specific beings that I'm married to that I've already announced their names. And I would say they are equally as powerful as me. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. With every being of existence, there is an equal and opposite being of existence. That's what that means, all right? One digestive tract does this, the other one does this. All right, so I don't want you dumb fucking Nazi motherfuckers to go, well, I'm just as powerful as him because I'm just as powerful as him because I'm equal and opposite. That's not how the universe works. I hate to break this to you, but you should be aware of the fact because I don't support lying. I value truth, I value honesty, and I fucking always will, you know what I'm saying? So I believe the universe will always reveal the truth, no matter what. It has its way of revealing the truth, and truth is important, therefore, to the universe. So I do value truth. Just, dude, I can't. I know everyone's caught up on this imagination, ink on cotton, Nazi enacted, ink on cotton, pixels on the screen adjusting. But what I value is truth. What I value is honesty. And I choose to be honest with everybody. I choose to let everyone endure their freedom of thinking, freedom of thought, freedom of speaking. And I also allow myself to endure my freedom to continue to pursue happiness. And I would like everyone to know there are various times during war that are very fucking sad. It's hard to get through at times. We always end up getting through it as a species, as a consciousness. There are a lot of times during war that are fucking fun, dude. And priority, love is the goal. If you're not having fun, then what the fuck is the point of existing? During Revolutionary War One, the bitch of Britain said to the founding fathers, if you war with Britain, if you war against the British militia, then it's going to be a life of war. You're not ever going to experience fun. And then they said, well, then so be it. They said, so be it. And I don't believe that messenger got sent back. All right, they delivered the message, they didn't get sent back. So be it. And the founding fathers made it a priority to prioritize fun in their lives, even during war. Fun is a priority for the founding fathers. So they were constantly drinking wine, constantly partying. I do believe they had access to cannabis and hemp and everything, and listening to music. Speaking is fun. Fucking, playing games. There was something called the Whiskey Rebellion. There was a stamp tax that was a stamp on not just mail, but newspapers, which is speaking and information, and also playing cards. So that was a stamp tax. There was a Whiskey Rebellion, which when they tried to enact a tax on whiskey, President George Washington sent out the USA militia and immediately fucking stopped it. Stop that motherfucking state from doing that fucking tax. No, you're not allowed to thief earnings from the USA. Okay? And then the Culper Six, the Secret Six. Various spy rings within the founding fathers' existence. They are a very important part. Gathering information is more valuable than gathering gold. Sharing information is more valuable than gathering gold, than gathering any element. Information, okay? So the Culper Six, the Secret Six, people to this day still do not know who the Secret Six were. And no one knows if it was actually just six either. But they were spying on the militia. And that's what we're doing today, spying on the Nazi militia. Not just here, but in various other countries. Spying on them and murdering them. War is murder. And based on all the games that you guys are playing, I would agree, and it seems like you would agree, that it's fun to murder, okay? It's fun to do war. Fortnite, Call of Duty, Mobile Legends, Splinter Cell, Resident Evil, Grand Theft Auto. Fucking what game does not have murder in it? Even Mario. What game does not have murder in it? Every single fucking game is an example of war. Okay? Donkey Kong. Super Smash Bros. Fucking Pokemon. It's all, they call it KO. We all know what's happening. We all know what's going down on the fucking Pokemon games. They're killing motherfuckers. Alright. When you're playing these games, know that what you're doing is participating in a virtual form of war. And you're teaching other beings your warring personality type, whatever it is. So, and your warring skills. So you're passing that on, be aware of that, and they're passing it on to you. You're getting better at war, you're supporting war. War is murder, and apparently murder is fun. So I agree with that. And I think that it can be used to help the species continue its survival. I do feel that we deserve to continue to survive as a species. And with the Nazi militia here, it's not going to happen. It's not possible. They're going to run the planet into the fucking ground, just like they've done every fucking location they've been on. Slave them out. obtain the developed land, and repeat the process. Locate yourself somewhere else, slave them out, obtain the developed land, run it to the fucking ground, repeat the fucking process. It does not work. It only works if the various locations are developed, if they have what's needed to be locating yourselves there. So, at the moment, what we've done is provided what I call a codependent amount of abundance. So you've codependently provided an amount of water in your reservoirs out in LA, for example. What do I mean by that? All these locations that went what's called water resistant, or I don't know, water the plants don't use much water. You're using cactuses or something like that, or rocks in your yards. It used to be grass. So these locations, grass is putting off oxygen, grass is putting off evaporation of the water, and the ground is wet. When you have dry ground, you're not going to have that evaporation, you're not going to have that oxygen, you're not going to have the humid environment that was there. And so you've created this false abundance, codependently created this false abundance of water. And similar to the founding fathers, the location was identified and targeted because this codependently created abundance of water was providing houses for Nazis and Nazi Mexicans. All right. So you've allowed beings to locate themselves here because you're being codependent towards the various locations that were abusive towards their own population. That's not your population. That's not your offspring. That's not your inquietude. Yet you codependently provided them with assistance, and you're now enduring the resulting factor of your codependence. All right, you're perpetuating their torture of an existence. You're perpetuating, you're rewarding various locations for abusing their citizen civilian, and it needs to end immediately. Otherwise, what's going to happen is a continued repeat of what we see out in LA, what we see out in Palisades, what we see out in fucking Florida, what we see out in the various other states of these tragedies. They don't have to be nuclear, in order to be pretty big scenarios. And it's not that hard to do the various things that you guys all think are very hard to do. So I want everyone to make sure that what you're choosing is the freedom frequency. Are you allowing beings to speak? Are you allowing beings to be human mammal? Are you allowing beings to do what they choose with their time, with their existence? Are you allowing beings to pursue happiness? What is happiness? Alright, I love listening to Slipknot. I love listening to Slaughter to Prevail. So what is happiness? Are you allowing happiness? If you're thieving anything from someone, you're thieving freedom. If you're thieving freedom, you're enacting slavery. So what are you thieving? Is what you should ask yourselves. Because if you're thieving anything, then you're enacting Nazi law. You are a Nazi. You're a Confederate ideologist most of the time. But I would say if you're thieving anything, you're a Nazi. Okay, so everybody can end that fucking ideology right now. That Nazi ideology, Confederate ideology. The hypocrites. Do what you're saying you want everyone else to do. Lead by example. If you want someone to do something, do it yourself first. And then what you can do is go, okay, now let's force everybody to do what I'm now doing. If you want everyone to be functioning, fucking has their fucking life together, you don't enjoy things being consuming the 21st bill, consuming cannabis medication, consuming nicotine or caffeine. Do what you're saying needs to be done first. Alright? If you're talking about save the planet, this and that, make sure you have your fucking everything fucking together first. You're separating all your garbage cans for free. You're separating your recycling and your fucking all the yard waste, the foods, whatever, all that for fucking free, down to the fucking atom. It should be down to the fucking atom. Once you have your fucking life together, then you can force other beings to be functioning fucking as their fucking life together. Until that point, I recommend that you continue to work on yourself because leadership begins with the individual. So if you want things to occur, you have to first do it yourself and be that example. If you're not that example, then no one has anything to follow. Alright? And everyone that wants to reference this being or that being, I want you to know you're not that being. Alright? And I can provide you with the evidence. You're not that being. And a lot of times, I could also say, that's not your offspring. Don't be concerning yourself with that offspring. One, you're not that being, and then in various other situations, you're not that that offspring does not belong to you. So mind your own equitude. All right, mind your own body, mind your own existence. You are not these beings, so stop acting like you're that fucking being. All right, be you. Everyone needs to realize that. Be you. That's what dope is. That's how to be cool. Simply fucking be you. As a country, be you. And you're fucking dope on this planet. It's when you try to be like it's some other motherfucker, they end up, you know what I'm saying, failing. Because that's not you. That being is not you. You are not this person. You are not that person. I'm not this person. I'm not that person. I'm well aware of that fact. Alright? And I'll prove it to you. You'll just have to wait and see. So, with that being said, I'm going to end it here. Because I feel like we're at a dope spot. Shout out to Rez. Damn. I'm right at the end here. 106.24. Let's take another shot and we're gonna fucking head out, dude. I'll end this. I might start something else up, but just a banger conversation, man. Remember, everybody, fun is the priority. Love is the goal. Make sure that you're having fun. Even in times of war, you should be having fun. Play your fucking music, play your fucking games. Watch some dope movies. Eat some dope fucking food. Leaders need to know how to eat. If you don't know how to eat, then you're not going to be a fucking leader, ever. And you shouldn't be referring to yourself as one. So, hit some fucking vapes. Smoke some fucking weed. Oh, wait, I got a bomb crack. Smoke some fucking weed. There we go. You continue to live your life dope as fuck, dude. Peace out.